sometime in the next week or so, maybe even as early as Thursday, the Supreme Court is expected to release its opinion in the Broadcasters versus Aereo case. Oral arguments were heard in front of the 9 justices on April 22nd. And while Justice Stephen Breyer was the one asking the most questions of the lawyers, it's impossible to tell where the court stands on the matter. An oddity, veteran court watchers told me. Both Deadline's David Lieberman and myself have been following and reporting on the long-standing legal battles between the broadcasters and the Barry Diller-backed streaming service. And just in from NYC, David joins me today to try to make sense of what the soon-to-come ruling by the High Court could mean either way. So David, let's just put our cards on the table right now. Who do you think is going to win this war?
The answer is, I don't know. I can tell you that on Wall Street, the smart money is betting about 70% that broadcasters will win, but you were there, you got to see their faces. I can't read their minds. I don't know.
Justice Roberts obviously had an issue with it. He pointed out twice he thought Aereo were trying to get around the law. Do you think that this is something that's going to come down maybe not as a win or lose, but as a kind of split in the middle?
They'll probably try to split the difference here. A decision that will give something to the broadcasters, something to Aereo. They obviously do want to protect cloud computing. That argument resonated with them. But again, the devil's in the details.
Unlike a lot of cases that go to the Supreme Court, this one is still actively being pursued in other jurisdictions. In fact, the petition before the court is to resolve a matter that's still before a lower court in New York. So you could actually see this kick back.
I mean, I would think, though, that the courts would take their direction from the Supreme Court. If the highest court in the land says, look, we think that this thing is basically legal, but we have these qualms, that message gets sent down.
Okay, now, so here's the real thing that a lot of people want to know is, what happens if Aereo wins?
Probably less than you would imagine, given what the TV network executives have been saying. I don't think they're going to take their programming to cable. I don't think they're going to take their programming online.
So you think Les Moonves is just blowing hot air?
When he sees the light of day and he sees the implications of the decisions, he'll probably say, it's really not that bad. The status quo wouldn't be that bad.
But then the flip side is Barry Diller has said if Aereo loses, it's basically business over. I've had sources say to me if they lose, basically most people are going to lose their jobs, and they'll just try to get the licenses and make some money off that and basically close shop.
Right. The whole business model is based on their ability to take the programming from the sky. As Aereo says, people get to pick up for free with an antenna and streaming that. If they lose the ability to pick up the programming, I don't think they're going to cut deals. They're not going to make payments. They don't have enough resources to make those deals.
It's either going to happen on Thursday, it's going to happen next week, it's definitely going to happen before the end of the court's term in June. Either way, one of us is getting up early to tell this story when it does happen, David. Keep checking back for more video news from the Deadline team. I'm Dominic Patton for Deadline Hollywood.